We're back. Welcome, everybody. This is Sarcasm Speaks. I'm Jared. He's Bob. If you're watching us on YouTube, well, first of all, click subscribe, right? Give us a thumbs up, all that happy horse shit. You might notice we look maybe a little paler than normal. maybe a little,
Speak for yourself.
maybe a little more despair. What is it? Despairful? Full of despair? Whatever you want to say.
I don't think that's a word.
We're on that full blown New Orleans style hangover here. We did it.
To be fair, I've done this hangover in a lot of different locations.
Well, yeah, sure. That is.
I've done it in Boston, done it in Medford, done it in Milton, Austin,
Nashville. Yep. Baltimore.
And that's all just this year. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah. So if you've been following along with the show, you know that this past weekend, we went on a bachelor party trip for Jones, friend of the show. Shout out to Jones. He's probably our top guest, borderline third chair.
Yeah, I mean, outside of when we were in Mansfield and Dickie and Vinny would participate.
Yeah, I mean, Dickie's probably close up there, but I think Jones might have him beat by now for the top spot.
Yeah.
Because we even used to call him in, like when
we did. That's how it started.
Yeah, I would call him on my phone and plug my phone into the mixer board, and we would have him on there.
Yeah,
that was a pain in the ass to edit because I had to overlay the sound onto the video because obviously our camera isn't connected to my phone, so I literally sit there and fucking overlay everything. Oh man. Some of the things I used to do to edit and everything for this was a lot. It makes you realize how much free time I actually had. I mean, don't get me wrong, I do still have free time now, but I had way more free time back then. There would be days when I was working at my last job that I literally wouldn't do a damn thing all day.
It's like an Office Space thing.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
Say in any given week, I do 15 minutes of real, actual work.
So here we are. We're back. We survived. New Orleans. That lived up to the tale.
I've been talking about it for 5 years.
It was probably the grossest place I've ever been to.
Oh yeah, it's nasty.
It's gross. Like the joke about like it smells like hot garbage. No, it does. It smells a lot like hot garbage.
You know what's funny? The last time I went was in September. I thought it smelled like hot garbage, but I thought it smelled like pretty tolerable.
Yeah.
September is fucking awful.
Yeah. I would imagine, and I would imagine July is probably even worse.
Yeah, but you wouldn't. Well,
no, I mean like the people that live around there.
Oh yeah, but like you wouldn't willingly visit there in July or August.
No, that doesn't make
any fucking sense.
There's no reason to go there unless it's for football when the weather is still hot. I mean, like September is still pretty hot.
Yeah, September is hot. It's definitely hot.
Especially down there. Like September can be hot here. So it's definitely hot down there.
No, it's every bit of 95.
Yeah.
And probably equal humidity.
Right. Like obviously everyone wants to go there for Mardi Gras in February, but like it's probably like 70 degrees in February. Like I can't imagine it gets colder than fucking 55.
No, I mean it just does. It can't.
Yeah. So
still fucking south.
Yeah, like I said, lived up to the tale. It's fucking disgusting. Smelled like hot trash. A lot of like really weird places.
Yep.
A lot of
really weird places, people.
Oh yeah, really weird people. They love the like the goofy haunted voodoo shit down there.
Yeah, they do.
They do. It's not just like shit you see on TV. Like I remember, like I don't know, what is this, 2 maybe 3 years ago at this point? Remember we watched that Dark Tourist thing on Netflix,
Yeah, vaguely.
and they went to New Orleans. They did an episode in New Orleans, and they did the whole like vampire thing and witches and all that stuff. And it's like, no,
Wasn't that guy like the world's biggest pussy?
oh, he was a huge pussy. Yeah,
For a guy that was on a show called what was it? Dark
Dark
Tourist?
Tourist or Dark
Dark
Tourism.
Tourism. For a guy that was going to be going into weird places, he was a complete fucking bitch.
Yeah, he did the horror house in somewhere in Tennessee. Remember the guy makes you sign a waiver, like if you die,
yeah.
I'm not liable or something. The
Yeah.
torture house, that's what it is.
Yeah.
Yeah, and he was a huge bitch about it.
Yeah,
It's
that
like,
was weird.
like, dude, you know what you're getting into. You like the guy
You're
literally
on this
makes you
show.
sign a waiver. Yeah,
Like the name of the show is Dark Tourist or Dark Tourism or whatever. And it's like, bro, you're gonna see some fucked up stuff.
yeah, yeah.
Or casting. Who fucking casted this guy?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, so they love that shit there.
Did you see any? I don't think I saw any haunted real estate listings this time.
No, but I saw there was a haunted brochure. There was multiple haunted brochures in the front lobby of the hotel that I checked out at 2:30 in the morning when I was waiting for Vinny. But we'll get to that. Don't worry, we'll get to that. We're still just talking about the city. You know what I did notice though? Oh, so actually, before I talk about the good stuff, we did see the fucking street cleaners in the morning, both mornings, on Sunday and Monday morning.
Yeah.
When I went out, there was the guys out there with the pressure washers.
Oh yeah.
They were power washing the sidewalks. They fucking spray down the streets. They dump soap on the ground and they spray the soap off. That is a legit thing. That happens. Yep. That happens every single day in New Orleans. Or at least on Bourbon Street, I should say. And the surrounding.
It's the French Quarter. It's effectively the French Quarter, unless there's not that many bars on whatever road it is.
Yeah. Very I can't think of the word that I'm trying to come up with right now. Dilapidated. That's the word I was looking for. The dilapidated houses on the drive from the airport to downtown New Orleans. And I know I've talked about this before, and I've told you, obviously, I mean, Jesus Christ, I think at this point it's probably close to 10 years ago when I was in Shreveport, Louisiana. And that was one of those, that was like one of the first times that was like eye-opening to me, that holy shit, like that stuff you see in movies about like driving down a road and there's little houses that are like literally boarded up and like everything is fucking like, that was Shreveport, Louisiana. Like the drive from the little tiny airport to where we were going, that's what I saw. And there was a group of like fucking 15-year-olds sitting out on plastic lawn chairs drinking tall boys of like Bud Light and fucking whatever the hell it was, like just tall boy beers at 15, like in front of a house that's boarded up. Like that was Shreveport. That's like the lasting image of Shreveport, Louisiana. And it was very similar vibes.
Well, I've only been to a few southern cities. And the thing is, Southern City is not reflective of how poor or poverty ridden a lot of the South is.
Another time I saw something like that was the drive from Charleston to Myrtle Beach. Yeah. Along that road, there's like one stretch of road where like it's bad. Like these people are legit poor, right? Like you think like, oh, poor, you know, like we grew up in Medford. Medford's not like, well, it's different now than it was 20, 30 years ago. But when we were growing up, Medford wasn't like big time money. Like some people had money, some people didn't, but we weren't like dirt. But you know what?
Everyone did okay though.
And even like, obviously we grew up, we had friends that lived in the projects and I would hang out in the projects sometimes. Everyone's like, oh, it's the projects. It's the at least these people people got it okay. Like people that lived in the Medford projects, like you don't have it that bad. Like some of the places that I've seen down south, like I said, between Shreveport, Louisiana, the stretch between Myrtle Beach and Charleston, and that's only 3 places, really. Like, and those are 3 very small areas.
Yeah, like this doesn't even account for some of like the really, really poor places.
Never mind, like I can only imagine what like the hollers of West Virginia look like.
Well, so I was gonna say like Boone,
You
North
know, like,
Carolina, but then like that, then you're
right,
moving into like mountain living.
right.
um, but no, I mean down south, so with the limited exposure I have, dude, it's all similar. Like
Yeah,
Jackson, Mississippi,
yeah,
Birmingham, Montgomery, Alabama,
yeah,
Atlanta. Atlanta's a fucking shithole.
yeah.
Now I haven't been to these places, so I can only go off of what people are telling me. Memphis cannot be
Oh
nice.
yeah.
Like
No. Memphis is fucking
I'm
shitty.
sure Beale Street's great. I would love to go there sometime, um, but outside of that, it's like,
Yeah.
dude, any place like Little Rock, Arkansas. Think of any place that had a fucking massive issue during the civil rights movement.
Right.
Dude, it's gonna be a little bit of urban, historic, old Southern city in poverty.
Yeah.
That's what the cities kind of are.
Yeah. And that's like I said, like that's real poverty, right? Like even if you think about like if you drive through Brockton, like obviously there's some really bad areas of Brockton, but like
The worst part of Brockton,
is probably still better than fucking Shreveport, Louisiana.
yeah.
You know what I mean? Like it is just what it is, right? Like and not to like diminish people that struggle up here in the Northeast, but it's a different kind of struggle. And also, I think the difference about that too is living in a blue state. There are a lot of social welfare programs available, but like I don't know how much of that is available down south, and like how
I have
good
a
it
pretty
is.
good guess.
Yeah,
None.
probably none.
And
Right,
whatever there is not very good.
right, right. So you know,
It's out. That's the thing, is it's out there. There's like a lot of people up here that don't really realize what the rest of the country is kind of like.
oh yeah, for sure, for sure.
And it's like you want to talk generational wealth, like certain areas are generationally wealthy. Dude, there's generational poverty in this country. Like,
Oh yeah, 1000%.
like
Yes.
this place has been poor forever and it always
Yeah.
will be.
Oh yeah, yeah.
It's like if you're from here, it's like, fuck, man, that deck is stacked against you.
right, right, 100%. There's so that's very well said. Yeah, the generational poverty is just as much of a thing as generational wealth.
Yeah.
And
So it's like when you go to these places, it's like, gotta remember, it's like this is where's Spencer? This is like this is their reality.
right, right, yeah.
Like this is what it's like. Yeah.
Welcome to Reality Tonic. I'm your host, Spencer. Here's Rob.
Yeah. So yeah, it's like especially that drive.
Yeah.
Like, bro, that is like fucking Nowheresville.
Yeah.
Because that's the thing, the airport ain't in New Orleans.
That's the other thing I've noticed a lot about basically anywhere that's not the Northeast is that the airports aren't actually in the city that they say, right? Like Boston's airport is in Boston. New York has 2 airports in New York. Well, I'm sorry, the city has 2 airports in the city, right? Because obviously there's Buffalo and there's other places. I think there's one in Schenectady, maybe. I don't know. Albany, who knows? But Baltimore's airport is in Baltimore.
I didn't see the airport in Schenectady when
yeah.
went to go play some bets.
Like it's small, but like the Manchester, New Hampshire airport's in Manchester. The Portland airport is in Portland.
I'm sure Philly, like.
But like when you go to Houston, like a part of this too is because Houston is just fucking large.
I was to say it's hysterical because it's in
Like,
like a fucking 45 miles.
yeah, the airport is very far away from like the downtown Houston area. Um, Denver is really weird. Technically, the airport is in Denver, but if you look at a map, like a city map of Denver, it's like this one area, and then there's like a straight line, and then like a little ball. It looks like a fucking crack pipe.
The
It's
airport.
the highway to the airport, and then the airport. Like they consider that Denver, and then
Yeah.
everything else is not. So it's like once you start getting into these areas that are like really spread out, which is the South and the Midwest, like it's not like these places aren't in the actual place where you're going to stay, and you get to see some weird
Yeah.
shit.
Yeah, I mean, it's outskirts of the city.
Yeah, yeah. So yeah, the other thing that I pointed out to you, and we kind of had like an aha moment at the same time, was when we drove by the cemetery. There's a massive cemetery, and they're
It was
all
massive.
mausoleums.
Yeah.
I turn to you and I go, oh yeah,
You can't bury them
you
underground.
can't bury anybody underground here because it floods all the fucking time.
Yeah.
And that would be awful. If there's a fucking hurricane and it goes, oh, there's old Aunt Gertrude floating down fucking Main Street.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah, that cemetery was huge.
That was fucking huge. And it's like I said, it's all mausoleums. So it
makes sense.
Yeah, no, it does. But then the best part, when we landed, granted it was a little cloudy, so we couldn't see like very far as we were landing. But we get off the plane, and as we're walking in the airport, I turn to you and I go, hey, I know it was kind of like cloudy, but like that like cement wall thing that we kind of flew over, like that's not the levee, is it? And you go, yep. Yeah, 100% that's the levee. And I was like, oh,
yeah.
Oh, okay. So I can definitely see why this place floods like all the fucking time.
Yeah.
Like because there's like a 6-foot cement wall.
Yeah. In the words of Derek Zoolander, it needs to be at least 3 times bigger.
Yeah. And I turn to you and I go, these look like the cement walls at fucking Malden Hospital. Like I used to climb on them as a kid. You know, like these are not big.
No, I'm pretty sure Massachusetts. No, I've never been down this way, but the way it was described to me is in Fairhaven. I think it's like Fairhaven, New Bedford or something. There's a hurricane barrier down there. Then like people like go for walks, go for runs on it because it's like this massive, massive thing. And I'm like, okay. So in Massachusetts, where it never hurricanes.
Yeah. We get like one hurricane every
we have this
6
massive
years.
Thing.
And one bad hurricane every 20 years.
And they have hurricanes on the reg.
Yeah.
With quite literally nothing to defend it. No, I understand. I think New Orleans is wall. I think it is technically below sea level. The fuck however that's possible.
Yeah.
It's just like in a depression in the earth, I guess. I don't know. So yeah, there's only so much you can do, but like one of the things about New Orleans is it's very, very old. So you've had a long time. Now, again, not a lot of money. That's how it started, how we started this. You had a long time to maybe work on funding some projects to make those shits a little bit bigger.
Yeah. Yeah, or like literally figuring anything out.
Anything, something. Or because I don't know, maybe if you make them too big, then they just like break. I don't know. Like, because now you've stored the water up, and I don't know. Like,
I don't know, dude. I feel like the technology exists. Like,
there's someone somewhere has to
Venice exists, right? Like, that's a thing. That city's been around since fucking forever. Like Holland is like they're the kings of the fucking dikes, right? Like that's the dike, yeah. And then they also build big walls too. So it's like the technology has to be there somewhere. Like you can't do. You're telling me you can't do better than a cement wall that if I stand on my tippy toes, I can touch the top of. Like.
It's so bad.
Like, what the fuck? What are you doing?
So bad.
Oh no, I can't believe the city of New Orleans got fucked up by that hurricane. Oh my God, it's under so much water. but they have levies. Yeah, those levies don't do shit.
Yeah.
Fucking
Like just to say we
Christ.
have them.
Yeah, it's just to check a box.
Yeah.
So then
All right. So
the
you're done making fun of my favorite place in the world, or
yes,
what?
yes, yes. So
Okay.
the one thing, the interesting thing I will say, and obviously we didn't have time to do any of exploring because we were there for about 52 hours.
Sprint.
The areas that are not Bourbon Street seem to be decent. Like I noticed when we were leaving, whatever way we went, as soon as we got to be like 3 blocks
Yeah.
away from Bourbon Street, it looked
yeah. So
like
we
Charleston, right? It looked like a classy southern city. Like it, and I was like, wow, this is a totally different vibe.
yeah. So on a map, we went west out of the French Quarter,
Yeah.
crossed over Canal Street, whatever, and then moved into the business district, which may be the same and or borders the garden district.
Okay.
And then that's when we ended up cutting up by the Superdome, which is on Poydras Street, which is in the business district.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
that's more of your what you would see in like a northern city.
Yeah, yeah, is very like glass buildings, high rises. But there
Yeah.
was, like I said, like that Charleston feel with like the old southern buildings where
Yeah.
they have the balconies on the side and things like it looks like with the wrought iron, like it looks southern,
Yeah.
but it also has a mix of
Well, it's
like I
like
said, like the glass buildings
it
and
was like in Savannah where like down River Street
right,
with the
right.
historic steps, of course.
Yeah, yep, yep.
Um and when you came up, yeah, we like you can tell we're in the south, but felt like I think it was, I don't know if it was Boynton Street, but like whatever the fuck it was, it looked like Newberry Street.
Yes.
So
Yeah.
that's what it looked like. I think you had to cross Canal. Like once you get, I think like Canal Street is almost like the border of the French Quarter.
Okay.
So you cross over Canal, and then it brings you out to whatever that main street is. I'm not really sure what it is. But that's where the Ritz Carlton is. Like that, like you can tell there's a change. Like there's a CVS on the corner that probably doesn't have plastic barriers
Yeah.
just to hide the fucking Gatorade.
Yeah. That was my favorite part about the fucking Walgreens that I walked into. There's fucking plastic barriers everywhere, or like plexiglass, really. And then there's they had like random thing. They had like candles were behind like a glass plexiglass lock. Like a typical like around here, if you walk into a Walgreens or a CVS, usually they keep like the razor blades behind that where like someone has to come with the key and open it up. Like candles were behind that and like cleaning products were behind that. And I was like, all right, it's a great area.
Yeah, so I think that main drag might have been Canal Street.
Okay.
I could be wrong.
So that's right. Like I will give it some credit. Like I said, like if I were to ever go back, I would be potentially inclined to look over there as well.
Yeah, and so part of my thoughts for this, because obviously I was like, part of, the planning of this.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know the area well enough, but I know a lot of it's not great.
Right.
So I go, if I'm putting this together, we're gonna stay where I know.
Yeah. No, 100%.
And that's it. So that's why, we did it the way we did it. Where the fuck is the Ritz?
And we weren't there
Yeah,
for
Canal's
very
that.
long.
No,
like we had a very specific goal.
Canal is that main road.
Okay.
Yeah, so I mean, I would be inclined to at least look at Canal Street.
Right.
Because the other thing too, though, when I go, like I do still want to be fairly close to the French Quarter. So like obviously the Superdome is a little ways away. It's like a 20-minute walk.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean it's like through the business district. Who gives a fuck? But the other thing is like when you go to New Orleans, it's like I don't really want to be surrounded by like Holiday Inn Express. Like it just doesn't, I
Yeah.
don't know, it just doesn't feel,
Right.
I don't know,
Right.
for me it doesn't feel right. But I think the next time I go, I would be inclined to look at Canal or the business district and just trying to find something that's like in a somewhat easy walk
Right.
to
Right.
the main drag.
Yeah.
Because then if you think about like if you want to go down Decatur, now you're kind of away.
Yeah.
And I like to walk. It's not easy to Uber around that place.
No, that the French Quarter at least is not conducive
No.
to Ubers. There's a lot of roads that they just don't allow car traffic on in general.
Right.
So, um, yeah, but it's again, it's one of those things too where like I kind of go back and forth on that, right? Because I look at it like, well, if I were to ever go back, like I would want to stay maybe in that like, canal, potentially see what's over there. But then at the same time, it's like we're going to New Orleans. So like
Yeah.
there's a very specific purpose. Like you're not going to New Orleans to like eat the steak dinner. You know what I mean? Like you're going to New Orleans for Bourbon Street. Like you want to see Bourbon Street. So
Yep.
why not just be, you know what I mean? Like it's a little bit of this, a little bit of that, right? Where same thing with
And
like Nashville, right? Like you go to Nashville for Broadway,
right.
typically. I mean, I've been there enough times now where like I'm all set with Broadway. Like I'm good. Give me Midtown. Like I'll go stay in Midtown and be happy as a fucking clam.
Well, I think the one thing that makes it different is that you can Uber in and out of Broadway easily.
Right.
You can't you gotta walk
Yeah.
in or stumble in New Orleans.
Yeah.
Um so you just gotta like it's just kind of like navigating that, like figuring out exactly what you want to do.
Right. Right.
I don't know.
Um. Yeah. So that's the city, right? And then so Saturday we get in and we got a lot of boxes to check.
Yep.
We got a lot of things to do. So after we get food, so the one thing I will say too that I hear quite frequently too about New Orleans is it's hard to find bad food, right? You kind of almost got to look for it. And I would probably agree with that. Outside of like, you know, the random pizza joint at fucking 2 a.m., you're not going to get good pizza, right? But also
Yeah.
New Orleans isn't known for pizza anyway. But like all the other food that we had, we didn't have pizza actually, but everything else we had was good, right? Like all the food we had was pretty good. Um we got the beignets, right? We got all
Yep.
that shit.
Yep.
Um
Never had them, so those were good.
Beignets were good. It was one of those like
They are good.
they are good. I would not wait in a line for a half
Nope.
hour at Cafe Du Monde
Nope.
just to get what probably amounts to pretty close to fried dough. It's
Yeah,
better than it's better than fried dough,
it's
but
well um it's like a perfect fried dough just in a small
yes.
square.
Yeah, I think that's a perfect way to say it. It's a perfect fried dough. Um, so yeah, they're good, but that's it. I've had them. Awesome. Oh, have you ever had the beignets in New Orleans? Yeah, of course I have.
I have had them. They're good.
Yeah, they're delicious.
Yeah,
Um,
they're good.
yeah. Then so after, like I said, after we got the food, we checked into the hotel. Um, we go to the tropical isle first. Well, I know we hit some warm up areas
Well,
first.
we had to go get a bar first because I wanted to go to the tropical isle. Well, this is the hard part about going 5 years ago. So I remember tropical isle. I knew there was multiple, and I saw one on the corner. I'm like, ah, fuck, that could be it. I go, it doesn't look right, but I go, that could be it. And I go, what the fuck do I really know anyway? But I'm like, oh, it opens at noon. I'm like, all right, so we go and get one at a bar across the street. We get out at 12:05, 12:10. It ain't open. Like, all right, well, let's go find another one. And then we walk up one block, And there it is. And it just hit me. I'm like, that's the one. And I think
Yeah.
I think it was the original one.
Yeah.
So, yep, we went and got the hand grenade.
Yep. We
Tastes
did
like
the hand
Surge.
grenade. Yep. Yep. Tastes a lot like Surge. Yeah.
Yep.
Um, then we did some walking.
Yeah, we went down to Decatur,
Yep. We
got the
got
frozen drinks.
we got some frozen drinks and then
And
continued.
the frozen hurricane tastes like Robitussin.
Yep. Frozen hurricane. Not that good.
Um,
We go, did we hit another bar and then go to
so
patios?
we went to the beach
Yes.
where they didn't have the 3-for-1 beer anymore.
Yes, that's true.
R.I.P.
Yeah. RIP 3-for-1 drinks. Um,
And then we
then
went to patios.
then we went to patios and got
Regular
the
hurricanes,
real regular hurricane,
which also tastes like
which also
Robitussin.
tastes like Robitussin. Which is not fucking good.
Yeah.
It's uh just not good, right? It's the only way to say it. It kind of fucking sucks.
Yep.
Um, but due to all of these local drinks, if you will, we had ourselves a bit of a situation where no one really has much recollection of the rest of the night.
Nope.
I think you turned it in pretty early.
Yep.
I think I was very shortly behind you.
Yep.
And I'm talking like 7:30.
Yep. Early.
Yep. Early. We're both probably in bed and asleep by 8 o'clock. And I use the term asleep loosely. It was more like passed out.
Yep.
And the next thing I know, I wake up and it's 2:30 in the morning. And I'm like, fuck. What's going on? What happened? And I go, oh, my eyes feel weird. Oh, my contacts are still in. I go take my contacts out. And I go and I'm like, where's Vinny?
Yep. And I must have heard you because I was up at this time too.
Yeah. And I think I said something to you. I go, do you know where Vinny is? And you were like kind of in and out of consciousness. Like you were kind of like sleeping, not awake, whatever.
Yeah.
And you're like, no. I'm like, oh, shit. All right, let me text him. So I text him. I think I don't know. The first thing I might have done was text the group because we had a group chat going with all the guys that were down there. And I was like, is anyone with Vinny? And no one responded.
You might have called him first and then texted the group when his phone died.
Okay. Oh, yeah, that's right. So I was texting Vinny and calling him. We were going back and forth. He was telling me that he was going to get an Uber back to the house. And I was like, don't do that. You don't need to Uber. Like, I don't know where you are, but like, you're probably close enough to walk. Like, it's okay. I'll send you my location. Like, I shared my location with him. And I was like, follow this home. Just like put it in your GPS and walk home. And he's like, yeah, I don't know how to do that. And or whatever he was saying incoherently. And I was like, all right, dude, send me your location. And so he takes a screenshot of the page of his Uber driver and like what kind of car it is and the license plate and sends that to me. And I go, that's not your location. That's your fucking Uber driver. Send me like click info, share location. Like, let me see where you are. And then we're talking on the phone. He's like, I don't know. I'm walking back. I don't need an Uber. I canceled it, whatever. And I go, all right, dude, like it's Hotel Mazarin. Just get here. I'll be outside. So I put clothes on. I go downstairs to the main lobby. The security guard is there because they lock the front door at night in the hotel in New Orleans because
they have to.
See above, it's New Orleans. And I'm talking to the security guard. We're hanging out, and I go, "Hey, my buddy's like on his way back. Like, you mind if I just kind of hang out here?" And he goes, "Yeah, no problem." And that's when I found all the literature about the haunted areas that they love down there. And so the security guard goes, hey man, I'm gonna go outside and smoke a cigarette. You want to like just come hang out? And I was like, yeah, sure. I was like, maybe I'll see him, like hoping that I'm just gonna see him stumble by drunkenly, whatever. So we're outside, probably like 20 minutes or so. And security guard goes, hey man, I'm going back inside. So you should probably come with me because I'm gonna lock the door. And I'm like, all right, yeah, no problem. Still no Vinny. And at this point, like somewhere along this point is when his phone dies. So now I'm like pretty nervous, right? It's like 3 o'clock in the morning in New Orleans. His phone's dead. We can't fucking get in touch with him. So I go back in and I talk to the lady at the front desk and I go, listen, my buddy is on his way here. He's shit faced. So if some drunk asshole comes and tries to like open the door, I know it's locked, but like if it's him, like, can you just make sure he gets to room 216? And she's like, all right, cool. What's his name? I give her a name. The woman goes, all right, I'll print him out a card key right now, so that when he shows up, I'll give him the card key and he can just get up to the room. All right, cool, whatever. And so I go back upstairs and like maybe 15, 20, I hadn't fallen back asleep yet. So it had to have been like within 20 minutes, 15, 20 minutes. The fucking room phone rings. And I'm like, what the fuck is that? And I'm like, holy shit, it's the phone. So I pick up the phone on the fucking nightstand. I go, hello? And it's the woman from the front desk. She goes, hey, your friend's on his way up now. I just put him in the elevator. I was like, all right, great. And then Vinny fucking stumbles in the room, just incoherent as fuck, and just passes out in the bed and goes to bed. So he made it back at 3 a.m.
Yep. No missing persons, no arrests.
Yeah.
No hospitals.
Yeah. It was quite the night.
At least Saturday we didn't have to fucking check any boxes. I'm sorry, Sunday.
Sunday was much better. Sunday was much more like let's hang out. Like we still drank all day, but it wasn't like we got to drink this drink, we got to drink that drink. No. They're all fucking grain alcohol, whatever. Who knows what the fuck is in them, right?
Yeah, that's the big thing is like I actually don't know.
We don't know. And it's like, oh, this drink, that drink, whoa, frozen drink. Oh, yeah, bah. And it's like, no, Sunday we're like, let's go to a sports bar, watch some football. You know, like I said, we still drank. Between the seven of us, we probably drank like fucking 60 high noons.
Yeah, I was going to say I must have drank at least 10.
Yeah.
At that sports bar.
Yeah, so probably between the seven of us, we probably drank. Well, Vinny wasn't drinking high noons, so still six. Yeah. Six of us, we probably took down at least 60, 70 high noons, right? But it's spread out from whenever we got
like 4.5 hours we were there or so. We probably got there at 12:30 and left around 5.
Yeah, yeah. And we actually ate. We ate food, right? We got the chicken wings there were so fucking
the wings were good.
They were like the perfect amount of crispy.
Yeah, the wings were good.
They were fucking awesome. Nachos were pretty good.
Yeah, and then but the big thing was we're waiting all day to go to the dungeon.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Jones had texted me a few times about the dungeon when he was still out and there. And then when we ran into them, we were informed about the dungeon.
Yeah.
I believe we did establish it opened at 6.
Yeah. Yeah. What time does the dungeon open?
6 o'clock on the dungeon.
Ah, okay. All right. 6 o'clock. Got it.
So we leave the sports bar. I was gonna try to drag us into Turtle Bay, which probably is a good thing that we were on the wrong side of the road.
Yeah.
Because they got that's the blue skull or the crystal. Sorry. It's a blue drink and a skull glass. And I think it's just grain alcohol and blue raspberry, but I wasn't going to get one. I was just going to see who was stupid enough to. So we didn't end up going to Turtle Bay. And at that rate, I think some people wanted to change. I think that's right.
Yeah.
So we walk back by the hotel and I look at you. I go, do you need anything here? And you're like, nope. I go, should we just go back? Like, should we just continue?
Yeah, Vinny. So Vinny had already put himself to bed for the day.
Yeah.
So he was in our room sleeping. So I was like, yeah, there's no point in us going up.
No, because in again, like, yeah, did we drink all day? Absolutely, but we were still fine at that point. I still
Yeah.
remember everything.
I remember every single thing from Sunday. Not the same. Can't say the same for Saturday.
No. So we go out. We see that the game's on and the bar has seats, so we sit there. I think it was the brick room.
Yep.
Nothing memorable about that place. It's fine.
Yeah, it's a
So
bar.
so we head over to the dungeon, and we had seen it earlier in the day. We walked by it, so we went in and sit at the bar, whatever. Looking around, I'm like, okay, it's dark.
It's
There's the
dingy.
jukebox.
There's a pool table.
I'm like, why did Jones think I would like this place so much? But I'm like, all right, whatever. Let me give it time. It's early. It's 6:00. It just opened. Like,
Yeah.
no big deal. So I see the guys outside. I'm like, hey, like, whatever. They come on in. And I wasn't really paying attention, but I heard the bartender going on this story about some dog and like the bar across the street and something about Molly. And I'm like, it's interesting. Why? I don't understand this story. The story doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, I don't understand the relevance of the story.
Yeah,
Did the bar? I was like, did the bar used to be named Molly?
Yeah, I'm like, what the
Like
what?
Molly's?
Why?
I don't know.
Why is she telling us about some dog and the owner next door?
Yeah.
Whatever. I don't know. I'm like, this doesn't make any sense. So we start playing pool, and then I think it was Jones mentioned, like, oh, when do you want to go to the dungeon? And I look at him, I go, where the fuck are we?
Yeah.
He goes, this ain't the dungeon. I go, the fucking sign is right out here. I go, what do you mean it's not the dungeon? I go, fucking walk with me. So we walk outside and the sign for the dungeon, and then there's this little tiny alley that you had to go down.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, we missed the dungeon.
Yeah, we missed the ridiculously small alleyway that you had to walk down to get to the dungeon.
Unless Tom knew it was there, I don't know how the fuck they found it.
Yeah, I have no idea.
So we finally get to the dungeon, and you got to walk through this alley, and there's no windows, whatever. And I'm like, okay, this makes more sense for why
this place looks like
dungeon.
Something called the dungeon.
Yes.
There's like fucking skulls everywhere, and the fucking black lights, and
yeah, and that was a cool spot where you can play the music for the place through the jukebox, but it's all like heavy metal, effectively.
Yeah, it's like hard rock metal.
Yeah, because it's like Black Label, Alice in Chains, obviously Danzig.
Yeah.
Bartender hated that. They just kept playing Mother everyone just plays Mother all the time.
Yeah.
And someone played Chop Suey within like 4 songs.
Yeah.
Yeah, they played it twice.
Yeah.
Yeah, dungeon was a good spot. Then we got some barbecue and went home.
Yep.
We went back to the hotel.
Yeah.
Probably got back by what, 9:30?
Yeah, I would say probably 9:30.
Yeah.
Because we were
wasn't that late.
We were gonna try and watch the late game.
Yeah.
The night game.
Still waiting for that charge to come through.
We couldn't do that though. Because the TV was broken when we got back to the room. So Vinny had himself a little accident. So I was like, all right, cool. I don't know. I guess I'll just fucking go to bed. But definitely needed to.
Yep. Worked out going to bed.
Yeah. No, it was totally fine.
That was essential.
Yeah. And I mean, that was one of the things I said to you too. I was like, do you want to just walk back like down this street? Like after we left the barbecue place, I was like, I'm not particularly interested in walking back down Bourbon. And you were like, yeah, we could do that.
Yeah, because all we're going to do is end up somewhere.
Exactly. Yeah, it's like, oh, let's go in here. Or we run into the other half of the guys. They'd be like, oh, hey, you're back.
Which I don't know what they did. They may have called it a night, or they may have been right back at it. I don't know.
Yeah, because they were waiting to get like shitty pizza from some sketchy fucking pizza place.
No, it was a frozen drink place.
Yeah, it was a frozen drink place that had a pizza sign. And
you and I both looked at each other for about
I'm not eating that. 1 second. And we were like, fuck that. I'm not
I'm not
eating
eating
that.
that.
I'm not eating that. I'm not eating that pizza from the fucking frozen drink place.
Yeah, I'm not doing it.
Yeah, not a chance. So
I'll tell you one thing. If I would not have felt like, so I didn't feel great the next day, but I good enough.
yeah.
Good enough yesterday morning. That pizza would have had my stomach in fucking shambles.
Oh, 100%. Yeah.
And
Without a doubt.
that was my major concern.
Yeah. Yeah. So we got some decent barbecue. And then went home and went to bed.
Yep.
Had our flight delayed twice.
Well, so the best part about the flight thing. So in the morning, we had been passing around the article between like amongst us that at Logan, Delta Airlines had people on the tarmac for like 4 hours, 6 hours, something like that, while
I
they
think
were
it
like
was like 4
de-icing the
hours.
fucking plane or some shit.
Yeah, they didn't have
Didn't
enough
make a lot of
staff.
sense. So they were like de-icing the plane, didn't have enough staff. It was a fucking mess. So they comped everyone like $50 or some shit,
Yeah.
which looking back, that's got to be like hush money, right? Like, oh, we gave you $50, and it's like, okay, well, I'll take it, and then I'm still gonna complain. It's like, no, well, we gave you the $50. Like, you may as well not take it and try to actually get something out of the airline.
Right.
Now, again,
right.
why would I want to be comped if this airline just fucked me over like that? I don't know, whatever.
Right.
I can be a sucker multiple times.
The funny thing is, I think Delta is consistently voted the best airline.
I don't know. So I don't know what all these measures are because I've seen that, but I don't think they rate highly in like reliability.
I mean, I don't think any of them for the past 2 years, I don't think any of them do.
Well, that's true, but I did see, like, I don't know what the rating category was, but it was like came in first at 70 out of 100. I'm like, oh man, they got a fucking C-.
Yeah, they got a C-, and they were the best ones.
That's a fucking Haslam scale right there.
If I've ever seen one.
Yeah. So I don't know, but like I thought Delta was like having most of the problems this summer, and then everyone was kind of cool this fall. Like that's what it seemed like trending.
Yeah.
But yeah, that Delta flight, like people were stuck on the tarmac, whatever. So I'm like, great. What are we flying? Delta. Where are we flying it to? Logan. Awesome. This is great. So we get to the airport. We're standing in the security line. We're out of the Uber. We're there, done, whatever. I check the app. Flight delayed. Great. Now it's only like 23 minutes. Whatever. Fine. So get through security. We're there. It is what it is. No problem. So we're looking, and then like the updated flight time, I think it was a delay. I think it was a departure delay of like a half an hour.
Yeah.
But it ended up being, I think boarding ended up being from 12:50 to like 2:00 or something like that. But we still only landed like a half an hour late, which was fine.
Yeah, yeah.
But while we're in line at Chick-fil-A, the fucking fire alarm goes off.
Yes. Well, before we even got to Chick-fil-A, I was going to try and go to this restaurant that had po' boys. That's the last box that hadn't been checked, right? We didn't have a po' boy. Oh, we're in Louisiana.
You didn't have the gumbo either.
Yeah, well, fuck the gumbo. We didn't have the po' boy. I'm like, fuck it. We're in the airport. We're about to leave. I'll get a po' boy. So I'm standing at the fucking cashier.
And it says order here.
It says order here. I'm standing right here. And we're standing there for like 15 minutes. And then finally, like a woman walks over from like the restaurant area and says like, y'all going here to go. And I'm like, to go? And then she like mumbled something completely incoherent. And I was like, and then walked away. She said like something about the bar. Like she said this like sentence, and the only word I got out of what she said was the bar. And there were no seats open at the bar. So I'm like, all right, I'm not doing this. I'm just going to Chick-fil-A, which was right next to it in the airport. So we went to Chick-fil-A. Yeah, and then the fucking fire alarm
went off. But no one left and no one evacuated. So I'm like, well,
No.
fuck that.
And Vinny was in the bathroom.
Yep, of course.
So yeah. And then so I think you texted him, or you
Yeah, I
texted the
just told
group,
him we
like
were
the
at
three of us.
Chick-fil-A.
Yeah. Like, hey, we're at Chick-fil-A. We don't leave the airport. Fuck the fuck the fire alarm.
Yep. So whatever. Turns out, I think that was just obviously it was a false alarm. No fire. Nothing really stopped. Like operations didn't really stop in the airport or anything. And then, we just from there like went back to the gate, but like we're tracking the plane because you can track where the plane is, because ours was coming from Boston to New Orleans to pick us up in New Orleans and go back to Boston.
Right.
So fine, it had left late, no problem, but the arrival time is 1:15.
Yeah.
And our boarding time is supposed to be 1:13 now. That's after the delay.
Yeah.
And you're like, that math doesn't add up.
Yeah.
It doesn't take 5 minutes to fucking deplane.
Right. Takes like a half hour.
Yeah. So probably landed at 1:15, maybe a touch later, and then we were boarding at like 2.
Yes.
No problem. Take off, fine, gone, whatever. Get to Boston, land, and the guy comes over and tells us like, "Oh yeah, we're gonna have a short delay. We just need some staff to get to the gate." I go, "Fuck."
Yeah.
Off.
Yep.
I go, if we're here for hours, it's probably worth yelling bomb and just going to jail. At least I would be off the plane.
Exactly. Yeah.
I wonder what would take longer. To sit through like the 4 to 6 hour delay, whatever the fuck it was, or to yell bomb, get arrested, go to jail, and ideally get bailed out.
Yeah.
It's got to be close.
And I would imagine it's probably pretty close.
One's more costly than the other.
Yeah. Yeah. But, one of them is a cool story. The other one's just annoying as fuck.
Yeah, the other one got you $50.
Yeah.
But it was really only like 7 minutes.
Yeah.
Like on that, we were good. I was watching John Wick.
Yeah.
Which I think that's one of my favorite things to do on a plane, because especially when I sit next to random people.
Yeah.
Like I hope they look like the woman next to me was doing like some online sleep course or something, like trying to educate herself. And I'm sitting there watching John Wick. I go,
she was sitting between you and Vinny too.
I hope she looks over at like when he just like blows someone's head off.
Yeah. And the woman that sat next to me had like a legitimate case of Tourette's, where like the entire flight it could have also borderline been like fucking Parkinson's. What does Michael J. Fox have? Parkinson's. It could have been that too. Like she was like, that's like her fingers were fucking twitching, like her shoulder would, like her neck. And I'm like, yo, what the fuck, lady? Like, chill the fuck out. Because at first I thought she was just anxious, but then like an hour and a half in, I was like, all right, she's got Tourette's.
Yeah.
So funny story. While you were talking before, I looked up the best airlines in 2022.
It's gonna be Delta. I already know it.
I got a list of 20 airlines according to Forbes, right? Forbes, pretty good, pretty reputable. I'm not going to go through and read all 20, but I will tell you there is not one American airplane company in the top 20. Number one in the world.
You have
is
an
Qatar.
international one.
It's just in general. So it's Qatar Airways or Qatar. There's like Qatar, Singapore, Japan is 6, Air France is 9, Lufthansa is 15. So all these. So then I go and I specify my search to just the US. So I find this article. Number one in the US, Delta Airlines in 2022. The opening line because it gives a little description under each one. The opening line here for Delta Airlines for the best airline in the United States. Even though it's ranked number 30 on the global list Delta Airlines tops the charts for American carriers.
Oh, fuck. Oh my God.
It's
That's
ranked number 30 in the
in the
entire
world.
world, and it's the best one in the United States.
Ugh, Jesus.
Oh, man. That's fucking amazing. So then they give the whole description. Number 2 in the US is JetBlue, who is ranked number 32 in the global rankings. So our number 1 is the world number 30, and our number 2 is the world number 32. So you want to take a guess at what the third best airline in the United States is?
Southwest.
No, it actually no, it does. It does. I thought it just merged. I thought it doesn't exist anymore, but I think it does still exist. Um, Alaska, Alaska Airlines is ranked number 3 in the United States. You want to know what it sits at in the globe?
47.
61.
Oh, good.
There's quite a drop off there.
I didn't even know there were fucking 61 global airlines.
Yeah, me neither.
This is boding really well for the other domestic airlines.
Yeah. So we have 30, 32, and then 61. So number 4 in the United States is United Airlines.
Never flown United.
I think I might have flown it once, like years ago. United is so bad that they don't even list its global ranking.
So how bad is American Airlines?
Let's see. Hawaiian Airlines is number 74 on the global list. That's after United. And American Airlines. Number 76 in the globe.
Well, that's just something, isn't it?
Yep.
So no matter what, you're fucked.
Yeah. So basically, fly Delta or JetBlue or get fucked.
And even then, you can still get fucked.
Yeah. So that's pretty awesome. America's fucking airline company just can't figure it out.
Okay, it was the points guy. So I don't know who the points guy is, but whatever. He did a report. Delta scored 70.43 out of 100. Number 1 in the US.
Yeah. C-. They're the best. I'm curious. I don't know. I don't know how many airlines are in the world. Whoa, that's wild. There's apparently 5,000 airlines.
Oh, fuck.
Oh, well, there's 5,000 airlines with ICAO codes. I don't know what that means.
I don't either.
Yeah, so who knows? Still, number 30 is our best. Not great. Not awesome. So
great.
Pretty best we can do is a C-. Hey, you got anything else? You want to wrap it up?
We can wrap it up.
Yeah, I think we covered all the bases.
And all I'm going to say is it's a very good thing that I did not go to New Orleans for the FSU LSU game.
Oh, yeah.
That was Labor Day weekend. It was the kickoff game. So not only would I have been very excited, probably too excited as I was this past weekend, especially on Saturday. to be in that game, to watch FSU win, especially on a block kick. Oh boy.
Yeah.
That would not have been a good thing
Yeah.
at all. Whatsoever.
No.
And this weekend, like, really, really showed.
Yeah, I mean it's Tuesday and I'm still kind of fucked up. Like my left ear just hurts now because it's like not fully popped. Like it's popped a little bit, but it's been so unpopped for so long. Like I have ear pain. So like that's pretty awesome.
That sounds awesome.
Yeah, I can feel it. Like when I take if I take like a big gulp of water, I can feel like the crackly sound in my ear. It's probably a good sign, right?
Probably.
It feels like I got tackled by fucking Aaron Donald. I said that in the group text this morning. Like my ribs hurt, like my ribs and my back and my shoulders hurt, like my torso, like the bones of my torso hurt. I don't know why. Like the only thing I could imagine is I got tackled by Aaron Donald, but I don't know.
I don't know.
No
That type of
idea.
shit happens to me when I'm like that hungover.
Yeah.
Well, and this is like the thing that sucks the most about like the recovery from, because yesterday, like, I could have gotten up. Maybe I go buy a gallon of water. Maybe I don't. I don't know. Like I could have got like a ton of water from somewhere,
Right.
but now I'm sitting here like, okay, well, we're gonna check out of the hotel. Then I've got nowhere to really piss. So then, get an Uber. 30 minutes to the airport. Okay.
30 minutes through
No
security.
problem. But like, yeah, 30 minutes to get through security. Now you're in the airport. Okay, great, fine. I was pissing like every 20 minutes today.
Yeah.
I go, how the fuck am I supposed to do that on a 3-hour flight?
Yeah.
And that's 3 hours in the air.
Right.
Your boarding starts 20 minutes before you get to your
Right.
seat, 3 hours. Your deplaning takes 20 minutes. It's like,
Right. Right.
so I like intentionally dehydrate myself, or I intentionally like ration how much water I drink so that I don't have to piss on the plane.
Right. Right.
And it's like, ugh, this sucks.
Yeah, it's not great.
But I don't know. All things considered, I feel like okay-ish today.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I definitely feel better today than I did yesterday.
Well, I mean, that's an easy one, but
Yeah.
I've
Like I
had
said,
I've had some tough day after hangover days,
yeah.
and I don't know if this one was as bad.
Yeah, that's probably fair.
A couple
I think,
guys' weekends, those get rough.
yeah, I think because we took it easy on Sunday.
Well, the thing is, I didn't wake up with a massive, massive hangover yesterday, but
Right.
again, intentionally dehydrating myself can only get so good.
Yeah. All right. Well, I get a final thought.
Huh?
You got a final thought?
No, my final thought was,
Oh, your final thought was
thank
you couldn't.
God
Oh, you're right.
I
Right.
didn't
Right.
go to
Okay.
that fucking FSU game.
All right. Yes. Yes.
Because I don't think I would have came out of there alive.
Yeah, that's fair.
But now I know.
Yeah. Just like you ration water for a flight, you got to ration your New Orleans
if
for
I'm gonna
activities.
Yeah, like I can go to a Pats game, that's fine, because I don't know. It's like the Pats games just aren't the same as like an FSU game for me.
No.
Probably because I always just expect them to lose.
Yeah.
And then when they actually like beat a team like that, it's like just awesome.
Yeah.
And then there's also like an attitude of like, you're down there in their house. I know Baton Rouge is like 80 miles away, but like
Right.
in their
Right.
house effectively.
Right. Yeah.
So
All right. So my final thought is fucking corporate mingling events are the dumbest fucking things ever. So I had to go to a holiday party last Thursday night. It's like one of these like networking groups that I belong to. My job pays for my membership, and it's it's part of career development, right? Like it's in like the corporate real estate world and shit like that. You know what I mean? Like it's like a whole thing. But they had a holiday party last Thursday, and my boss went, and my boss's boss was gonna go, but one of her kids got sick, so she didn't go. So it was me and my boss. And it was fine, but it was one of those things where like I show up and I literally don't know one person other than my boss, and he knows like a few people. But then you do like the whole stupid fucking like corporate mingling thing where like random people will just walk up to you and be like, "Oh, so what do you do?" I'm like, "Oh, Christ." And it's like, all right, whatever. And then you like talk to these people and they just want to keep talking. And it's like, I would really like to not do this anymore. So can we just end this conversation? And then there was like one guy who works for a moving company, which go figure, right? The guy that works for the moving company is the guy that's like cool shit. And like we end up talking about golf for like a fucking hour because he golfs and he knows this the guy that used to work there. It's my buddy Neil. So like I think I don't know you haven't met him, but we've tried to all golf together. So he knows him. So we're talking about golf. I tell him I went for a fitting. He's talking about his fit. Like we were just shooting the shit, like having a good time. It wasn't like, so what do you do? Oh, that sounds really interesting. What are the things that go into that? Like, oh, that sounds very difficult. Oh, you must have a very hard time with it. Dude, get the fuck away from me. I don't want to talk to you. Don't fucking patronize me. Be like, oh wow, sounds like you have a really important job. Oh, it seems like a lot of logistics goes into that. Fuck off, dude. Like, fuck, I don't want to talk to you. Get away from me. Um, so you do the whole thing, whatever. They had fucking finger food. So I go there. It was in Boston too. It was in the seaport in Boston. So
Oh, it's so great there.
I went in, I left at like 2:30. I got there early because I saw there was a Flower. I don't know if you've ever been to Flower or heard of them. They're in
No.
Boston. There's a few of them. They're like a very high, like very, very good bakery. So
Okay.
I get there, I go walk over to the Flower, and I go and I'm like, what the fuck? The door's closed. Like it's locked. And I'm looking, there's people inside. And I'm like looking, and then I see the sign. They closed at like fucking 3:30. And I'm like, Jesus fucking Christ. Like it was like 3:45. And I'm like, ah, oh, Christ. All right. So like I find like a little hallway inside of a building. Like it was Flowers inside of a bigger building. So I sat in the hallway like next to the Flower and like did work for the rest of the day. But now I'm like, okay, well, this party starts at like 5:30. My boss didn't get there until like 6. So I ended up just going back to my car that I parked in the garage and like listening to podcasts in my car until my boss got there because I was like, I'm not going to know anybody, which turns out I literally didn't know anybody. So it's just this whole fucking stupid thing, and it's just dumb. They're just dumb. At one point, I looked around and I was like, this feels like a frat party. Like I feel because it's all like middle-aged white guys. Some of them are getting absolutely shit-faced. And it's like, what the fuck? They're all wearing fucking sports coats, right? Like everyone's like, oh yeah, you get your khakis and your fucking white shirt and your sports coat on, and you're like, oh yeah, man, oh fuck, oh, what do you do? Oh, that sounds like a really cool job. Dude, it was the dumbest fucking thing ever. It's so fucking stupid. So yeah, I decided that night that I hate corporate mingling events. So
I've only had to do like a couple of them, like TPI when we did the certification. They actually had a reception, like a cocktail hour. I don't know what the fuck it was.
yeah,
I can't think of the name. Like a social. I guess a social is the right word.
yeah, but socials aren't. So I don't know. I'll also preface this. I feel like because I've gone to the socials before for the perform better thing, and I've done some stuff. Obviously, working in the fitness world for as long as I did, even in the nonprofit world. When I was at Compass, like I went to some of those parties, and like they were mostly okay. Like none of them were like good times, but like this was so fucking bad because I could tell it was so fake. Like at least like gym people and fitness people, like we'll kind of talk about some shit that like we actually care about.
It's
But
the
like
fucking worst.
I literally don't give a fuck what you do for work, and you don't actually care what I do. Like, please stop asking me what I do and what my job is about, and then being like, wow, it sounds really important. It's not. It's not actually.
Life
Like,
will go on if I don't do my job tomorrow.
yeah, like if I fuck something up and like something doesn't get moved to the right spot, like, am I going to get in trouble? I don't know, maybe depending on like the severity of like what it is, but like the world's not going to fucking stop turning. You know what I mean? Like what I do isn't detrimental for society to move forward. You know what I mean? I'm not a fucking nuclear physicist. Like it's just what it is. What it is. You know what I mean? Like we're like, oh wow, sounds like a lot of work. Yeah, man. I guess so. Oh, how do you? Wow, I never thought of that. Do you think? I wonder. Like the next time we need something, we can probably call you. Do you have any business cards? No, I don't have business cards. Actually, I don't. Which that's a truth. That's a truthful statement. I don't actually have business cards, but it's like people will ask. They'll be like, "Oh wow, I feel like we could probably work together in some capacity. Like, do you have a business card so I can contact you?" Nope, I don't. Oh, that's too bad. Here's mine. Sick. I didn't ask for it, buddy. Like, also like the way it works in these like corporate event things, like a lot of these companies can use us, right? Because if they had to change locations or move or do stuff, like we can help them. A fucking company that makes computer monitor arms. Yeah, man, let me just call you because I need a new fucking computer monitor arm, but you're the sales guy and you're not even a tech. You know what I mean? Like, no, you can do nothing for me. Sorry, I don't want your shit. Don't give me your contact info and leave me the
Yeah,
fuck
well,
alone.
the next time you're installing those computer monitors for that company you move, because you do the moving and the assigning, like the physical moving, like you're in there like driving the
Yeah.
truck.
No. This company makes the monitor arms,
Yeah,
like the flexible arms. That's it.
yeah.
That's
So
all
when
they
you're
do.
when you're installing the monitor arms on the monitors
Yeah.
by hand, if
Yeah.
that's what you do.
Yeah, that's what I do.
Um, maybe you can buy some units off that guy,
Yeah. Yeah.
place a PO, if you will.
Yeah. Fucking
I don't know. Again, the only thing like because the way I see that is it's like it was like the TPI thing where it's like people come up to you, it's like, oh cool, hey man, like where are you guys from? Fuck me.
yeah.
Boston. It's like, oh really? I know that. I'm like, oh, okay, fuck. So it's not actually Boston. Like then you guys start doing that, like
Yeah.
because we were in Newark, so it's like far enough away, but not.
Right.
It's like, oh, Boston. You like, I know someone on Hanover Street. I go, okay, nope. So we're not talking actual Boston.
Right.
Actually,
Right.
we're not talking fake Boston either. We're talking southeastern
Yeah,
Massachusetts.
yeah.
and and then it's like, oh, so like, what do you guys like mainly do? Train athletes. Oh my god, it's like awesome. Like,
Yeah.
it's not that awesome.
Yeah.
What do you do? Oh, I'm glad you asked. Like,
Yeah.
fuck off.
It's so fucking stupid.
Although Jason Glass did come to us. It was like right out. He did a podcast called like Burn Your Benches, like trying to be like, oh, bench press, not a big deal. So yeah, he was like coming around. So me and Chris grabbed him. We're like, there's no way you don't bench press. He goes, yeah. He goes, do I bench press myself? Yeah, obviously I do. I'm like, I fucking know you do. Like, I don't need you
Yeah.
to fucking admit this.
Yeah.
Like, I know you fucking do. He goes, yeah. He goes, but truthfully, he goes, I truthfully don't have my clients do it. I go, I don't give a fuck, man.
Yeah.
I go, you did a fucking you did a Burn Your Benches podcast, and I know you're fucking full of shit.
That's pretty good.
As I'm sitting there, probably drinking Sam Adams.
Yeah.
Open bar, dude.
Yeah, oh, that was the other thing too. The corporate event thing, it's all open bar, right? So that's why these guys get shit faced. And then like one of the guys was like, "Oh, like where do you guys want to go to dinner?" Because it ends at like 8:30. They're like, "Oh, we should go to dinner." Like, what are you doing? Dude, I'm going home. Oh, what do you mean you're going home? I got a hotel room tonight. Like, we should just go party. Like, Nah, man,
No.
it's Thursday night and it's 8:30. Like I'm hungry because all I had was 4 mac and cheese bites and a bacon wrapped date, and a little bit of cheese. And like, I kind of want to go home and eat something and go to bed because I got to go to work tomorrow. So like, oh yeah, come on, man, let's party. Fuck off.
I don't want
dude.
to party with you people.
I don't want to. Yeah, I don't ever want to fucking see you ever again.
Like, the other thing too is it's like I'll drink entirely too much, but I won't call it partying.
Yeah, exactly.
Fuck out of here.
So that's that. They're fucking stupid. I'm stupid.
I'm fucking stupid.
So thank you. That's gonna do it. So thank you guys. Thank you for watching. If you're on YouTube, again, thumbs up, subscribe, like, rate, review, all that. If you're an audio only guy, same thing. If you happen to use Apple Podcasts or Spotify, you can now leave us 5 stars. Well, you always could do that on Apple. You can do it now on Spotify. So we'd appreciate that. That'd be cool if you wouldn't mind. It'd be cool also if you could tell everybody you know about the show. While you're doing that, you can go to mybookie.com and use the promo code SarcasmPod to double your first deposit up to $1,000 over there. You can also use the same promo code SarcasmPod to save 15% off your entire order at grillyourassoff.com, which is the best seasoning and accoutrement grilling accessory website in the entire world. They also have really cool t-shirts and hats and coffee mugs and all that shit too. So check them out over there. You can get us, the Royal Us, on Instagram at Sarcasm Speaks Pod, on the Twitter sphere at Sarcasm_speaks, Facebook page is Sarcasm Speaks. Our website is sarcasmspeaks.com. If you go to our store, you can buy some of our merch. You can get our logo on just about anything you can imagine. And yeah, that'll do it for us. So until next time. Later.